This is the BYD Atto 3, a Chinese purely electric car that does a lot of things differently. But does that make it a better car? We'll find out today. Welcome to Rev.
BYD, short for Build Your Dreams, is one of the largest new energy vehicle makers in the world.
The Atto 3 has a really cool feature that is that you can change the direction of that central touch display. So if you don't like it like that, you simply press that button and it will flip by 90 degrees, and then it turns the picture just like a tablet that you would use at home. And I mean, have you seen any other car where that works? I haven't, and I've seen a lot of cars. The general driving impression in the BYD Atto 3 is pretty smooth. You feel some bumps, but it's nothing that you would consider a disturbing fact, so it's quite a nice ride. And it is rather silent in here. We were driving on the Autobahn earlier. We were going 130, 140 kilometers an hour, and the wind noises were not that prominent in the interior, so I really like that fact.
The Atto 3 has a powerful 150 kilowatt output, makes the dash from 0 to 100 in 7.3 seconds, and can reach a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. The exterior of the Atto 3 has a fresh, sporty design without being too futuristic. With a length of 4.45 meters, it slots in somewhere between VW's ID3 and ID4.
The interior of the BYD Atto 3, at first glance, it looks quite cool, pretty futuristic. The steering wheel feels nice. It has some buttons for the most important functions, as you're used to in most other cars. What takes some getting used to, though, is the door opener, because it's right here and you have to pull it back like this to open the door. If you don't know it, you will spend a lot of time looking for it because it's nowhere down here. Apart from that, you have these vents right here. Those look quite futuristic as well. They are a little loud if you close them, but you will not often use this, so it's okay. Down here you have some buttons for most important functions. For example, for parking assistance or the auto hold function. But the highlight in the interior is definitely that huge touch screen right here that will give you navigation and of course music, Spotify, DAB+ radio, everything you need. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that you have to adjust the temperature via the touchscreen as well. But that is also an issue in other cars, for example in VWs, so the Atto 3 is no special in that aspect.
One annoying thing on our test ride was that the lane assistant, which warns if you're about to leave your lane, is a little too motivated. Which means it sometimes warns you a little too early on narrow roads.
The thing that makes BYD cars so special are the batteries. Instead of lithium-ion batteries that are used in most other electric vehicles nowadays, they use lithium iron phosphate batteries. And those are the only ones right now that can pass the nail test, where there is a nail driven through the battery.
This is done in the nail penetration lab of the BYD subsidiary FinDreams, which is responsible for battery production. The so-called Blade battery pack certainly deserves its name, thanks to its long, flat shape.
针刺实验模拟了电池极端情况下的短路，通过一个金属针刺穿电池，模拟内部发生短路时候的电池表现。针刺测试是业界公认所有电池安全测试中最严酷的。
The man in charge is Dr. Chao Li. He prepares both the Blade battery and an NCM lithium battery pack for the test. As soon as the nail is driven through the NCM battery's outer shell, the battery starts to inflate and smoke. Then it explodes and burns at temperatures above 500 degrees Celsius. In contrast, the Blade battery emits neither flames nor smoke, and its surface temperature does not exceed 60 degrees Celsius. This implies that EVs equipped with the Blade battery would be far less susceptible to catching fire, even when severely damaged. Another test sees a 46-ton fully loaded heavy-duty truck roll over the Blade battery pack. Surprisingly, the battery survives the test without leakage, deformation, or smoke. In the final step of the test, the Blade battery is reassembled and loaded into a BYD Han EV, and the vehicle still functions. But the Blade batteries have even more advantages.
首先，刀片电池大幅提高体积比能量密度。通过结构创新，采用高集成化和减少结构件的重组方式，使得刀片电池包的空间利用率从传统电池包的40%提升至60%，最高可达75.6%，体积能量密度提升至310瓦时每升以上。
A main advantage of the Blade batteries is that, unlike regular lithium-ion batteries, they do not require cobalt, which is already a rare raw material.
The battery capacity of the Atto 3 is around 60.5 kilowatt hours, and that will give you 420 kilometers of range. That is around the same amount that you have in other cars in that segment.
BYD invested around 1.4 billion euros in the FinDreams battery factory in Chongqing. It now produces an annual 20 gigawatt hours, equivalent to around 200,000 battery packs. There are rumors that the Blade battery packs will power other car makers' vehicles as well. One advantage is weight. According to BYD, the battery cells account for 80 to 90% of the total weight of a Blade battery pack, while in a conventional NCA battery pack, it's only around 60%.
This car comes in at somewhere around 38,000 euros in Germany, and you will almost not find any other car in that segment for that price, and especially with all the features you get in this car.
During the Euro NCAP crash test, the Atto 3 received a full 5 out of 5 rating and 91 out of 100 points for passenger safety.
As of now, the Atto 3 is based on 400 volts technology, like most of the other electric cars out there, but the platform that it's built on also supports 800 volt technology. And if this car becomes a success and the numbers allow it, they would also think about building it in an 800 volt version, and that would then mean the car can be charged faster than it can be now. The display here is really small and it only has the most important information, so it's really minimalistic, and I think I like that. The Atto 3 has a power output of 150 kilowatts and it can go up to 160 kilometers an hour. That is not exactly fast, but considering that you want to save energy, it's absolutely okay. And also considering, at least where I live in the area in Germany, you won't find a lot of spaces where you can go any faster than 130 kilometers an hour, because either there is some traffic jam or there are some road works, anything could be there, so 160 is more than enough. The BYD Atto 3 is a really nice car. I enjoyed driving it, I had a lot of fun in the interior, and the safety aspect of the battery technology is really interesting. The battery of BYD will neither explode nor will it smoke, and that shows how good of a technology that actually is.
All in all, the Atto 3 is a nicely designed car that offers a lot of driving pleasure and some well thought out ideas, such as the rotating touch display, the built-in guitar in the door, and of course, the safe battery packs. On the downside, the door handle is counterintuitive, the climate control is touch-based, and the lane assist is a little too enthusiastic.